It all looks pretty good now, but we want to pull the points down in the middle, which is not possible right now. If I press G and just have a selection and just move it down with G, Z, you will only see the selection being pulled down and unfortunately not all the surrounding ones. Thankfully, Blender is smart software. What do I mean with that? There's a feature called proportional editing that does just this. That is, we now make the selection for the point lying in the middle. For this, we can also use the circle select tool simply because it is easier and it makes sense. So, select these points, left click, bang, very nice. And now we will press O on our keyboard, or we can click up there, but you know, the cool kids press O because I want you to work with shortcuts. If we select one of these transformation times, for example, G for movement, you can see that we're moving the whole thing first. Why are we moving the whole thing? Because the radius for proportional editing is set way too high at the moment. If we want to try the whole thing again, press G again. Now use your scroll wheel to go up. And you can also see at the top left of the dialog box, proportional editing is currently sitting at 25 meters, which should be a lot lower. So let's scroll up and eventually it will be so small that we can actually see it appear right about now. Now, if we press G and Z, we can move these dots in the middle and also all the surrounding dots down. That's already super cool, but it's not actually all. We even have this drop-down menu here where we can choose all the fall-off curves. And of course, that makes the whole thing incredibly versatile and easy to use. Currently, smooth is the default mode. We can also go to sphere and then we can just look at why the different modes are what they are. Sphere is quite interesting actually. It starts with a hard edge, but it goes down into a spherical bottom side. There's a lot of fun uses for it. Of course, we still have root, relatively similar to sphere, inverse, square, and sharp. Sharp is really cool because it's almost the opposite of what the others do because it's round at the top and square at the bottom. Sharp is used, for example, when you want to model in raindrops. I will demonstrate this to you very briefly. For this, we simply select a UV sphere and we select the top point to have a proportional editing enabled by pressing O on our keyboard. Then we hit G and Z, and if we scroll out now, you can see we can easily model a raindrop and then pack it in a particle system, for example, so we can make a quiet rain animation out of it. Okay, so that explains everything that I wanted to talk about, but only as a small further application example for proportional editing. Linear is the absolute standard. There's no curve at all here, no rounding or anything. Points are either dragged along in the linear drop or not. Constant is pretty much the same as if we had proportional editing off, so either they move or they don't. And with the scroll wheel, we can then go further outwards and inwards. It's also very funny. Random can also be quite interesting. What you can see here is that we get kind of a mountain landscape, so to speak. That said, if you want to model a mountain real quick, that's actually one way we can do it. Add a plane, go to edit mode, subdivide a few times, make a selection from the middle, press over proportioning, G and Z to move it up, scroll out to make it bigger, and then you have some sort of a randomized mountain landscape right there, so to speak. It can definitely be of great help. Okay, so that's a bit of an overview of proportional editing. It's definitely a super interesting thing, but everything that we've been trying to do now has been in standard mode. So we smooth it out, we go to G, Z, and move the whole thing down a bit, and then we have our little cup hole in here, so to speak. And of course, a straw should also fit in there now. So we need to make a little slit. Now we're gonna select those faces here, and then we hope that when we remove them, it's gonna look good. But unfortunately, it really doesn't look good. That's pretty clear. Instead, what we're doing here is we're gonna use a modifier, and that modifier is called the Boolean modifier.